Listen closely, because what's about to be said isn't just another story about hedge funds. This is about the one thing that shakes the core of the entire investment world, the beating heart of disruption hiding in plain sight. Investors out there know this pain, the grind of following the crowd, only to watch your gains evaporate as the masses swell a bubble that bursts at the worst possible moment. The endless noise of consensus, the stale comfort of herd thinking that kills real edge. How often has watching the market felt like riding a wave everyone else is paddling toward, yet somehow you drown while others float? This isn't just frustration. It's a slow death of opportunity. The quiet suffocation under layers of uniformity that tell you today's truth is tomorrow's trap. Why does this happen? Because contrarian thinking, real, brutal contrarian thinking, is a rare commodity in a world of clones. Everyone shouts the same slogans, chases the same news, and licks the same wounds from past mistakes. We are surrounded by an ocean of voices that demand compliance, safety, and sameness. The system rewards those who fit in and punishes those who step out. But inside the cold, unyielding machinery of mass consensus, a handful still rise. A handful who refuse the comfort of the known, who stare into the abyss of doubt and embrace it as a beacon rather than a warning. These are the hedge funds, the last true contrarians. Look at them. Powerhouses hidden behind numbers and jargon. But at their core, they are rebels. They embody what the market desperately needs: skepticism, courage, and relentless independence. While the rest of the market chases the same benchmarks, they plot in shadows, finding untold value where others see risk. They sail against the current, and that's why their wins hit differently. Not because they gamble blindly, but because they refuse to accept the easy narrative. They dig deeper, ask the brutal questions, and act when it's too uncomfortable for the many. But there's something less obvious here, that every investor, every leader fighting this sea of mediocrity should grasp. This isn't about business as usual, not about textbook strategies or following back-tested models. This is about becoming. And yes, it's a process, even painful at times. Someone who no longer feeds off the approval of the majority, but who is obsessed with finding, creating, and owning truth that most are too scared to hold. This struggle is real. It tears at the fabric of sanity just to stay isolated on the edge, doubted, misunderstood, facing markets that reward conformity with short-term gains, but punish originality with savage indifference. How do these hedge funds keep going? Because they harness one brutal truth. Real power doesn't come from consensus. It comes from isolation, from digging beneath the surface noise to see what no one else dares to see, from patiently waiting in the cold, hard margin between worldviews, wielding it like a weapon. Their patience, their discipline, their refusal to bend to the pressure of the crowd, that is what makes them dangerous to the status quo. You might feel stuck now. Feels like the world is rigged against the bold, the real thinkers, the builders who want to create beyond titles and roles. The conventional market feeds on repetition and safe bets. But that hunger is starvation for the rare souls who want more than incremental gains. They want transformation. The good news: hedge funds reveal a brutal secret. The system is not unbreakable. It only looks that way because the many have accepted the easy comfort of good enough. The few who reject that comfort, they are carving the path forward, exactly as it should be. Here's the brutal advice: stop chasing validation and start building conviction. The market doesn't need more followers who repeat what worked yesterday, but more builders who dare to question everything, who imagine what's not visible, not obvious. This means becoming ruthless with your beliefs. Tear down your assumptions. Question every truth that soothes your ego or feeds your narrative. This is not a game for the faint-hearted or the passive. It's a battlefield for those who dare to own their will as their weapon, who know that real freedom lies not in comfort or sameness, but in the chaos of creating new realities. Think about your network, your connections, the people you surround yourself with. Are they building you or binding you? Hedge funds succeed because they have a rare kind of synergy. Teams crafted not by convenience or conformity, but by brutal selection. People who refuse to settle for anything less than exceptional, who challenge each other, who break and rebuild ideas until only the strongest remain. This is not a community. It's an autonomous network of sparks and signals, each fierce and unapologetic, together unstoppable. If you want to rise above, your circle must become this kind of crucible. What if you could align with just a few of those rare minds who will push you beyond limited thinking? Not an echo chamber of agreement, but a battlefield of ideas. A place where you're forced to be better, sharper, and fundamentally different. This is what hedge funds create internally before they even place a trade. It's not just about the money, it's about the mindset. This is the engine behind their true edge. And here's the part most people miss. Patience is the underdog's weapon. Hedge funds play the long game because they know the world rewards those who wait with clarity and conviction. In the frenzy of daily market moves and noisy headlines, those who endure silence and uncertainty build worlds others only dream of. They don't panic when the crowd screams. They don't rush when the media shouts. They breathe in the chaos and turn it into opportunity because they trust their process and their insight more than they fear temporary isolation. This isn't an easy path. It's damn hard. But the illusion of ease is the real trap. When life feels too cozy, the fire inside starts to die. Hedge funds are dangerous because they keep their fire alive. They smash false comfort and demand transformation. This kind of radical independence can't be bought or copied. It's forged through struggle, doubt, and relentless questioning. Every day is a battle against complacency. If the world's biggest mistake is convincing you that you are free while handing you a rulebook disguised as liberty, then hedge funds remind us what freedom really means. Freedom is not a promise of comfort. It is a call to fight for your own sovereignty, to question everything fiercely, to redefine what's possible in a world that tells you to just accept what you're given. Ask yourself, are you ready to stop living a borrowed life? To stop being a prisoner of consensus and to start becoming? Not becoming what the market wants you to be, but who you truly are. A radical individual with the power to see beyond today's illusions and create what comes next. The hedge funds stand at this crossroads as living proof that you don't have to settle, you don't have to follow, and you don't have to be average. The edge is lonely, it is painful, but it is where everything breaks open. It is where the few choose to burn rather than bend. The hedge funds, with all their complexity and secrecy, show us a brutal truth. Those willing to walk this lonely edge, to shatter comfort and embrace uncertainty, forge the future every day. And so, the real question isn't about hedge funds themselves. It's about you. Will you remain trapped in the crowd? Or will you become the rare spark the market has been waiting to set the world on fire? The system forgot about the exceptional. It left a vacuum for the rare, the misaligned, the misunderstood. Those are exactly the ones who will remake the future. No fluff, no shortcuts, just a relentless call. Own your will. Question everything. Build your own network of the rare. Be patient enough to play the long game. This is how hedge funds and true contrarians survive, by crafting a life and a legacy no one else dares to imagine. This is the path from silence to storm, from comfort to fire, from being a prisoner of illusions to becoming the architect of new realities. To those feeling the quiet rage inside, the unbearable weight of knowing you were made for more, know this: the last true contrarians are not an anomaly. They are a warning, a promise, and above all, an invitation. Will you answer?